WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. It's the end of an era in Mississippi and national politics. Today, Senator Thad Cochran announcing his intention to resign from the U.S. Senate on the 1st of April. Cochran cites his health as an ongoing challenge. In a statement, Cochran said he intends to complete the appropriations cycle before retiring. Cochran is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations. He was the first Republican since Reconstruction to win a statewide election contest in Mississippi when he replaced Senator Jim Eastland in 1978. He's the 10th longest serving U.S. Senator in history. The Pontotoc native originally was elected as a U.S. representative for 3 terms. Governor Phil Bryant must name a replacement for Cochran's seat. A special election has not yet been scheduled, that is. Open dialogue is important to the health of communities. It gets everyone on the same page and addresses important issues. That's what the Lowndes Community Foundation is trying to do with its first community discussion. It's going on tonight. Our Jory Talley joins us live from the Trotter Convention Center with more on that. Jory.
The meeting is underway as we speak right here behind me at the Trotter Center. The goal of the public forum is to address challenges and issues in Columbus and Lowndes County and work together to address them.
What is the true need of this community? What do the people who are in need see as a means of survival, a means of livelihood, a means of just day-to-day living?
That's what the Lowndes Community Foundation is working to find out in Monday night's meeting to get a feel for what the community wants and needs. The foundation is a nonprofit group that distributes grants to projects that are for the betterment of Columbus and Lowndes County. They have given funds to the Field of Dreams and other organizations in the past.
We're the savings account for the community, whereas an organization like United Way is a checking account, right? It funds a lot of different organizations and how they operate. Our purpose as a community foundation is to really serve as a savings account so that people can invest in the long-term future of Lowndes County.
Co-chairman Matt Bogue says he expects things like crime and public education to come up in the discussion. Shannon Jones says she believes the community needs to invest in more opportunities.
We should get more trade school centers, more job beneficial centers for more of our 18 to 23, 24, 25 to kind of clean up the streets and give people more chances.
The open dialogue will not only raise awareness about issues in the area, but also help steer the funds where they need to go. Bogue says it's been successful in other communities.
The takeaway from that was as organizations left the forum, they said, hey, you know what, we can address that now. And so there was an unknown need that bubbled to the surface, and organizations were present who had the capability to address it immediately.
Our Quentin Smith is inside at the meeting right now and says more than 100 people are in attendance, including city and county leaders. He's going to be having more coming up on this story tonight at 9 and 10 on WCBI News. But for now, reporting live in Columbus, Jory Talley, WCBI News.
All right, Jory, thanks so much for that report. Time now to get a first look at our forecast on this Monday. Here's Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Andre, we have a batch of strong storms coming into our western counties right now. Grenada, Montgomery, and Carroll counties under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30. That storm cell there west of Winona looks like is producing some nickel to quarter size hail and some wind gusts, perhaps up to 60 miles per hour. It's moving off to the east-southeast at about 40 miles per hour. To the north of that, a big shield of rain and some lighter cells back down to the southwest. That's really the only driver of active weather in our coverage area at this point. That could be the only strong storm we have this evening. We'll be watching it. The overall severe weather threat here this evening is low outside of that one little storm complex we've shown you. And here's Futurecast as we go throughout the course of the evening as those storms continue to advance east to 55. We do envision a weakening trend here, but all spots may see some rain here this evening. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
Keith, thanks a lot. A suspect who led law officers on a chase before being shot by a sheriff's deputy is recovering. WCBI's Allie Martin talked with eyewitnesses along a quiet Itawamba County road that was anything but peaceful Sunday evening.
Tim Hubbard was watching television in his Murphy Road home Sunday evening when he heard the sound of a car's engine revving up outside and went to investigate.
He was down in the pasture cutting donuts.
The longtime Itawamba County resident says things intensified when the driver of the black Jeep, identified by law officers as 27-year-old Daniel Klaus, led a female passenger out of his vehicle and continued his erratic and dangerous driving. Tire tracks show where the Jeep came into Hubbard's yard, then onto the property of his son and daughter-in-law.
My daughter-in-law was on the porch here at her house, and she was hollering at him, we got children, and we got kids. And then that's when he came up in the yard, and I thought at that point in time he was going to run over my daughter-in-law because he was heading the vehicle headed right straight towards her porch.
By that time, Hubbard's son had emerged with a gun and shot out 2 tires on the Jeep. Another resident who lives along Murphy Road and saw everything says she's amazed nobody was hurt. Loretta Underwood says she is thankful a neighbor tried to stop it.
It doesn't happen out here. It's quiet, especially because a lot of people out here have weapons in their homes. I personally don't, and I'm so thankful that the authorities showed up as quickly as they did.
Law enforcement officers spotted Klaus, who sped off, leading police to Highway 371, where an Itawamba County Sheriff's deputy had blocked the road with his car. This video shows Klaus smashing the deputy's vehicle. Oh, no! Klaus got out of his Jeep and allegedly charged the deputy who shot him. The deputy, whose name is not being released, was not injured. The Lee County Sheriff's Department is leading that investigation since the chase ended there. The Mississippi Highway Patrol is assisting. In Itawamba County, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Klaus underwent surgery at NMMC. We have no word on his condition tonight. Another Monroe County drug bust lands 4 people in jail over the weekend. On Friday, deputies arrested Cody Cruz, Gregory Damron, Christy Tate, and Donald Ward on multiple drug charges. Cruz and Damron were booked on possession of a controlled substance with intent charges, while Tate and Ward are just facing possession charges. Those arrests were made on Carson Road in Nettleton. Bond has not been set for any of these suspects. Police need your help, meanwhile, finding a credit card thief. The suspect reportedly broke into a car at Calvary Baptist Church on West Main Street in Tupelo. Later on, cameras caught the thief using the victim's credit card at Kroger. If you have any information on this crime, call Crime Stoppers of Northeast Mississippi at the number you see there on your screen. New details this afternoon in a chemical scare that prompted Columbus police to call in the Tupelo bomb squad. Last night around 7:30, crews were called to the 300 block of 12th Street North. CPD says a man was attempting to make fireworks in his living room when some of the chemicals ignited, burning his stomach. Police say he was treated and released from the hospital. Because chemicals were involved, CPD bomb squad was called in. Chief Shelton says a small amount of the fireworks material was removed. Officers say the chemicals were not hazardous to the public. This case remains under investigation. A tragic weekend near Crenshaw, Mississippi Saturday after 2 people were killed when their ATVs collided with an Amtrak train. This happened around 9:45 Saturday night. The train was reportedly traveling from New Orleans to Chicago. Family members identified the victims as Ashlyn Helms and Mason Overall. The family says Helms graduated from Strayhorn High in 2015. Overall graduated in 2014 and played for both the high school football and basketball teams. An area airport is making it easier for you to get through the security line. We'll have the details on it when we come back.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Andrea Self.
Golden Triangle Regional Airport is offering TSA pre-check enrollment all this week. That enrollment allows travelers to pass through security check-ins at more than 180 different airports. It means passengers won't have to remove their shoes or laptops and other items when going through security. It costs $85 and it lasts for 5 years. GTR Executive Director Mike Hainsey says this pre-check enrollment is a great convenience for passengers.
I had pre-check, and when it was at a major airport in the West, and I went through and there were 3 people ahead of me. 45 minutes later, the person I was working with showed up at the gate. So it's at a lot of the airports, the pre-check lines are shorter, plus they go faster because you don't have to take your coat off, your shoes off, and empty all your pockets.
The 10-minute application has to be done there at the airport, and appointments are recommended. You'll need a birth certificate, driver's license, and a passport for enrollment. There's also a background check, and it will also be done once cleared. An applicant will then be enrolled within 30 days. A partnership between Northeast Mississippi Community College and the Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi Foundation is helping create healthier lifestyles for the college and surrounding community. NEMCC's Community Health and Nutrition Center was dedicated this morning. The center offers cooking and fitness classes, which will be open to the public, along with NEMCC students, staff, and faculty. This is the second phase of grants from the foundation to support the school's wellness initiatives.
Our main objective is to create an environment within the community whereas they would understand what healthy living is all about, how to eat healthy, how important it is to exercise, and how this will increase their longevity in life.
Our goal is to teach Mississippians healthy lessons on how to lead healthy lifestyles through small steps that can be taken through healthy eating and exercise.
The first phase of the foundation's grant funded an overhaul of the Burgess Activity Center.
We're overcast across our region right now in Vernon and in Tupelo and in Columbus. We do have some showers and storms across our western fringe, our western counties. Those will move through here this evening. We all have the chance for rain. Sunshine returns tomorrow. The full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
We have a pretty good storm out here near Winona, just west of I-55 in Carroll County. That little area purple and even some black showing on up. There's likely some hail in that. It's moving off to the east about 40 miles per hour. The odds of hail here, 60% for some severe hail, and that would be up to the size of quarters. Again, moving east towards Winona and Duck Hill and parts of Montgomery County. This is our radar product where we are bullseye. We are zooming in on where the bullseye for hail is, and that is that area of white right there near Carrollton. So there's been a lot of hail likely coming out of this thunderstorm over the last hour here, and also some wind energy too with our shear rate product here. When that kind of fans out in that little arc there, we suspect there's some downburst type winds coming out of that thunderstorm. That too is moving to the east at about 40. So just heads up if you're watching in Winona and Montgomery County. That storm is moving east southeast. There's a stronger storm even out towards Vicksburg in northeastern Louisiana. That has a tornado warning associated with it. These storms, though, as they move into our area east of 55, the atmosphere is a little bit more hostile versus areas down here to the southwest. But the high-res satellite shows the cloud tops. The brighter the color, the colder the cloud, the taller the cloud, and the taller the cloud means a stronger storm. So that storm complex near Vicksburg, you see more orange than what we have up here near Winona, but they're very tall clouds, and we have some unstable air generally along and west of 55 right now. And this is what we are expecting all day long, the better odds of unstable air that can support the stronger storms west of 55. As the front moves on in and as the storms move east of 55, in general here, the energy will tend to fade away here this evening, but we still have a window of opportunity here for the next hour or two across the west where we may see a couple of those strong storms. Wind gusts and hail, the main threats here if we do see a strong storm in your area this evening, primarily west of the Golden Triangle area here out towards I-55 here. So overall for a coverage area, we are looking at a low-end threat for severe weather, but again, can't rule it out here for the next couple of hours. We are in the 60s, some spots to our south in the 70s. The rain goes away this evening. We're down into the mid-40s here, and for tomorrow, a lot of sunshine. Back into the low to mid-60s is looking pretty nice here. Futurecast doing a great job picking up on where the rain and storms are right now. That will cross our area during the evening. Most of this should be done by midnight. Some of that could linger a little bit longer, and then we're back into the sunshine for the rest of the week. Even cooler Wednesday, Thursday, highs in the 50s, lows down to around freezing, so more frost, more freezes are possible. Sports is coming up next.
The Final Four battle in Jackson for a spot in the state championships. See who's in for Class 1A next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Yesterday was a tough day for Mississippi State hoops. The first loss of the season for the women's team in the SEC Tournament Championship. But not everything is awful, as the Bulldogs swept some prestigious state awards today. Victoria Vivians and Quindary Weatherspoon are named the best men's and women's basketball players in the state of Mississippi. Vivians takes home her 4th consecutive Gillum Trophy, named the winner over teammates Tiara McCowan and Blair Schaefer. And Quindary Weatherspoon finally takes home the Howell Trophy after being named a finalist for the past 2 years. He was awarded amongst his brother Nick Weatherspoon and Southern Miss's Cortez Edwards. One more win and you're in. The Final Four tipping off in Jackson today. Teams looking for a spot in the title game. Back to the big house we go. Defending 1A state champ Pine Grove facing off against East Marion. Early on for Pine Grove, making things happen. Taylor Fletcher with the mid-range J. Tie ball game early, then some sharing the sugar. Look at Pine Grove passing. Ends up with Jessie Mooney for 2 inside. Still in the first, Lexi Elliott's going to find Haley Vick. Nice cross-court skip for the triple. She'll drain all 3 of these. And then to the fourth we go. Pine Grove cruising. Elliott to Carly Rogers inside to extend the lead to 17. And later on, Pine Grove, a well-oiled machine. Vick to Jessie Mooney inside for 2. Again, Pine Grove girls advance to their 2nd straight 1A state championship with a 62-35 win over East Marion. To the boys, Okolona facing off against Wheeler in the 1A boys semis. Early on for Okolona, up here, Jalen Bailey forces the steal. Cameron Smith, showtime, one-hand tomahawk for the jam. Okolona jumps out to a 10-0 lead to start. And later on, Jacoria Stanfield drives inside, misses the layup, but the big fella, Ladarius Spears, cleans it up with a 2-hand jam off the glass. Wheeler trying to answer down here. Cole Swinney finds Jalen Bean. He drives and scores for 2. That would end a 22-0 run for Okolona. And later on, Cole Swinney finds Luke McBrayer inside. Nice finish, big fella for 2. Third quarter, Okolona up here. Jalen Bailey to Ladarius Spears inside. Extends the Okolona lead to 18. Wheeler trying to answer. Alex Wilson at the wing for 3. That's good, and just too much Okolona in the end. Jamal Moore finds Jacoria Stanfield for 2. Okolona rolls over Wheeler 88-54. Chieftains play for the 1A state title coming up on Thursday. And who will Okolona meet? The winner of Holka, taking on 2-time defending 1A champs from Ashland. Here we go. This is a good one. Smoody Turner to Deshaun Berry across the court. Drive, pull up J. Sweet short corner jumper there. Gives Holka the early lead. Ashland's turn. Jamarcus Everett trying to find his teammate, but it's turned over. Madarius Hobson. More showtime. 2-hand jam for the big fella. Capitalizing for the jam. And then later on for Ashland, Everett finds Taryn Terry inside. He gets the shot to go. Nice little floater inside. Still in the first. Ashland still making things happen. Eric Bell forces the steal. He goes coast to coast for a nice finish in transition. Fourth quarter, things turning up. Eric Bell drives inside, gets the shot to go. That gives Ashland a 5-point lead, while Holka hits right back. Elijah Buchanan finds Smoody Turner in the corner. Nice drive, floater off the window for 2 for Smoody. But it would be Ashland's day. They hang on to get the 3-point win, 58-55 over Holka. That's the final game for legendary head coach Jimmy McDonald from Holka. Ashland will take on Okolona coming up Thursday for the 1A title. And then coming up later tonight, Louisville taking on Byhalia right now. At last check, Byhalia led into halftime, so we'll have the highlights of Louisville coming up at 10. And then the nightcap, how about this? Corinth taking on New Hope. That is going to be a big-time matchup down in Jackson. We'll have those highlights coming up for you at 10 right here on WCBI Sports. Also, go to our website. The state championship game starting on Thursday through Saturday. It'll be on My Mississippi.
Great.
Check your local listings. We have all of it covered on our website.
Because the fans will want to know where they can see their teams play for sure.
Absolutely, and the phones will be ringing Thursday through Saturday. So go to our
Tell
website.
them again where it's going to be on.
Our website, WCBI.com, channel My Mississippi.
All
One
right.
more time. Got you covered.
Got it. Fantastic. When we come back, we'll have a last look at your forecast.
We've got a pretty good storm cell out towards Winona. This thing is likely producing some large hail and some damaging wind gusts. Frequent lightning, heavy rainfall. It's moving to east-southeast at about 40 miles per hour. So batten down the hatches in Winona. Anywhere east And southeast of there, you may see a very strong storm over the next half hour to hour here. That warning actually has been extended down towards Ackerman, in those areas across our western counties too. So these storms will be moving through as we go throughout the next couple of hours, but the sun returns tomorrow.
It all looks great tomorrow. You'll keep watching that. All right.
Will
Well,
do.
enjoy the rest of your Monday evening.